No, without wanting to sound too desperate, it's fantastic. It's really good. It's cheap as chips. It's got a great taste. It looks fantastic. It's got some great flavours in there. Listen, it might not be the most subtle drink in the world. It's not the sort of thing that you crack open on your 30th birthday or your 50th birthday, but it is the sort of thing, if you've got the guys around, having a bit of a night, playing a bit of poker, and you're all already a little bit drunk, dig out the White Mackay. It's great.
Yeah.
It tastes fantastic, and you're not breaking the bank. So, if you've got a choice between Bell's, Jameson's, and White Mackay, we go White Mackay, basically.
Always. Yeah, absolutely. Of the cheaper ones, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
They also have a 13-year-old version, which you can buy in the shops as well if you wanted to sort of up the ante and the price on it, which is cool. I don't know whether I would just definitely get the normal one first and then see what you think. But it's definitely rough around the edges, like Adam said, but you can't go wrong with it. It's so good. It's better than Jack Daniels. It's better than Jim Beam, in my opinion. It's better than Jameson's, Bell's, Teachers, all
Famous
of that
Grouse.
stuff. Famous Grouse, all of them. It's so much better than them for the same price or cheaper sometimes. So you really can't go wrong. I lived off that stuff. The beginning of my sort of
uni days.
Whiskey life in the uni days. Exactly right. You got it. Oh man, it's so good. Okay, cool. So this will be the last one. Number 5. This is going to be the sort of middle of the road Scotch. This is going to be your litmus test against all of the others that we've given you today.
Yeah, good shout.
This is your sort of this is your home base. So this is the Scotch that's going to be from the Speyside. It's going to have a lot of sort of fruity sweetness. There's no peat in there at all. It's in the middle of the country. It's a distillery called Aberlour, and it's very easy to get as well. Yeah. So the 3 options you'll get are the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old, and it's called the Abuna, which is like a Gaelic word, which is their cask strength version. Go for the 10. It's the cheapest one, but it tastes fantastic. It's what people would call a sherry bomb. So it's basically fully matured in sherry casks. So it's very rich. It's got loads of those sort of like Christmas cake flavors and cinnamon and raisins and that kind of stuff. And it's very easy to drink. And it's just a perfect single malt for the beginner, in my opinion. It was one of the first that I had that I really enjoyed. That didn't have peat. It didn't have anything sort of gimmicky about it. It was just a nice Scotch. And fully recommend that. And like I say, it's your sort of home base. So maybe if you do buy any of the other ones that we've said, so 1, 2, 3, 4, pour yourself a dram of Aberlour as well, and have it side by side and just compare the difference, and it will blow your mind at how different it is. Even if you think you're not this sort of sommelier, because I'm not, Adam's not, neither of us are, but you can tell the difference between these things once you compare them and once you've had a few of them. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing how different they are. It will blow your mind, I promise.
Fantastic.
So give it a go.
I love it. We've turned our entire listenership into Alks in the space of 15 minutes.
If we can get one bloke into the shops buying one of these bottles, our job will have been done. And it's a journey I can't recommend enough.
Oh, big time. Mate, I'm going to put the gavel down on that, because that was great. We summed that up well.
Okay. All right, Adam.
Yep.
I've got a question for you, and I don't know whether you've been tracking this, but I need to ask you about this.
Okay.
The stock, what should we say, controversy that's going on at the moment. The fiasco. Have you been following it or seeing it? Or
strangely enough, I haven't actually. Mm-hmm. I've sort of, I think because I learned about it through memes.
yeah.
That's how I'm sort of
As have
getting
most
news
of
at
us,
the moment.
yeah.
So I learned about it through memes, and I was like, what the hell is this? I follow some sort of funny, like, Wall Street meme pages on Instagram. Not because I'm got anything to do with the stock exchange. They're just really funny, right? Yeah. And I was like, what is this? So my sort of knowledge of it is very corrupted. It's through jokes. So I don't exactly know what's going on. But I know that there's been some crazy stuff happening in Wall Street with some stocks. Who's been screwed? Because I've been seeing from both sides that, like, the big dogs, the traditional stockbrokers, have been screwed. And then I've also heard from tweets from people like AOC that's like, how could they do this? They're screwing the little man, sort of thing. So I'm like, hang on, wait, who's won and who's been screwed? What's happened?
So I'm not a big stock guy either. I would love to be. My dad my American dad is definitely into it. So, and he's been trading stocks since I can remember. So, sort of classic American pastime, isn't it? Especially when you're retired, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't put crazy amounts of money in there, but anyway, so I know a little bit about it. So basically what's happened is, and it's such a cool story, and I need to look into it more. So the idea is that these hedge funds are shorting stocks. So they're basically renting a stock at a certain price, selling it on at the same price, and then betting that it's going to go down in value. So when they buy it back from who they're renting it to, or who they've sold it to rather, they've made money. So the difference will have net the money, and they can make money quickly by doing that. So a much quicker return. But it's more risky because if the stock goes up, you've instantly lost money.
Yeah.
Because you have to buy it back. It's a timed thing.
Right.
So you basically set a time. You say, right, in a month's time, this stock we think is going to go down. So we'll buy it at this price, and then when we buy it back, it will be cheaper so that we've made money there straight away in a month.
Right.
Whereas if you just buy the stock generally, it doesn't matter too much if it goes down in a month, because you can hopefully wait for it, and the next month it will go back up, and then you can make money that way. So anyway, these hedge funds, the allegation is that they short stocks, so they bet that they're going to go down, and then they rumor things about the company to make the companies lose value.
Right.
So the idea is that they're sort of colluding together that to force the value of these companies down so that they can make millions for their hedge funds. Which
surely is a massive crime, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's sort of
If
insider trading and stuff, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the idea is that apparently this has been going on for years. It's always been going on, but it's just under the radar and no one really talks about it, but everyone sort of knows it's real. And that's where I can't comment on it because I haven't been in the game at all. So, but that's the gist. So what's happening on Reddit, there's a Reddit called Wall Street Bets, and it's all these like 20-year-old, 30-year-old sort of individual stock traders that are sort of just, they're trying to make money and they're sort of memeing and making jokes and sort of trying to give tips and stuff where they can and sort of show their wins and losses sometimes. But they basically saw this, they got into their head that these hedge funds are screwing them, and they're like, right, let's try and figure out a way of getting back at them.
Sweet.
So what they basically, they look at this company called GameStop, and all of the stock, 95% of the stock had been shorted by these hedge funds. So basically, over almost 100% of the entire value of the company was being shorted. So that means that if the stock went down, all of these hedge funds would make millions of dollars. And you can see who's shorting stuff, right? So they saw that this was being shorted through the nose. And it was kind of weird that all of the hedge funds are doing it on the same company. So that kind of like, maybe there is some validity to this claim that they're all working together.
Right.
But you could also say maybe, if one hedge fund does it, the other one sees it and like, they obviously know something, so they're getting on, I guess.
Yeah, just
it's hard to prove any of this,
it,
isn't it?
I guess, yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so they decide that they're just going to buy all the stock off the hedge funds. But if you buy loads of stock in one go, what it does, it drives the price up straight away.
Yeah.
So over like a week, or overnight rather, this stock goes from like $20 to like $480.
Nice.
So the hedge funds, you lose like trillions of dollars overnight.
Great.
If it stays at that price, right?
Well, it's not great because all our pensions go through the floor. But people on Instagram think it's great, right?
Exactly right. So overnight, these sure bets effectively have just completely screwed the pooch, basically, and like everyone panics. And yeah, that's basically where we're at. And so the hedge funds are going crazy. They're saying that Reddit is colluding, or the people in Reddit are doing insider trading, because these individuals, there's like 2.5 million traders, by the way, just to put this into perspective, in this one subreddit. So they're all sort of colluding to buy this stock. So their argument is they are insider trading, but they're not companies. They're just individual people.
They're just randomers jumping on a bandwagon, right?
Exactly. And I don't think you could say that they are insider trading or anything like that. I don't think there's any law against it. And so it's super high risk. So the brokers that are selling and buying these shares overnight stop the sale of GameStop shares effectively. Wow. So it means that no one can buy anymore.
But that's illegal, right? Isn't it?
Well, yeah, because why you can't just do that, and if why are you doing that is the question. And if the hedge funds have told you to do that, it's then illegal because they are manipulating the market. Because if you can't buy anymore, as soon as that happened, when the buy orders couldn't go through anymore, the price started going back down again. Right. So you see what I mean? So like, but the fact that they then interfered dropped the price of the stock, therefore they're interfering with it. So it's this massive argument, basically, like who's at fault.
Right.
And it's so exciting for me. Like I have no idea, really. I'm just like,
oh man, that sounds crazy. That sounds so funny.
The amount of money is just insane.
Oh mate, isn't that a classic story for sort of 2021? Mm-hmm. Just people are just bored at home and they're just like mucking about, and they've managed to screw up the stock market. Well, for this one particular company, but like they've managed to screw all this stuff. Oh man, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of all that stuff. I know sort of a basic knowledge, but I've only got a few stocks, but nothing like that. I'm a traditional guy. I like old-fashioned energy companies, fossil fuels, railways. That's gold, bullion, that sort of thing. That's my bag. Government bonds. But yeah, that's so funny, mate. But yeah, like I said earlier, the amount of people that have been like, yeah, let's screw the big hedge funds, let's screw those big things. And I'm like, whoa. That's what your savings are in. That's what your pensions are in. Like, it might seem funny to you to like try and screw those guys, but it's not actually going to come out of their pockets. Those douchebag guys on Wall Street or in Canary Wharf or whatever, they're fine. It's not going to screw their finances. It's going to screw your finances, basically, because your HSBC pension or whatever people have got is invested through these guys and through this massive thing. So if the stock market collapses, or I'm not saying it's collapsing, but if something bad happens to big money, it happens to you basically. If you've got any cash whatsoever, if you've literally if you're sitting on £1,000 under your mattress, then you're fine. But if you've got anything sitting anywhere, don't try and screw those big dogs, because it filters down to you. If they get screwed, you get screwed. There's no way you can not. You're not immune. It's not like Robin Hood. That's a story. I mean, I'm from Nottingham, for Christ's sake. Yeah, and it's a story. Like,
funny enough, the broker that's been in the most trouble is called Robin Hood.
No way.
Yeah,
is that his name? His Reddit name?
That's just the name of the company. No. As in, that's the broker that stopped the sale of this stock. So they're the ones in hot water.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they're called Robin Hood, and there's this app for people like us who want to trade. But I think there's obviously, with most of these problems, the answer is somewhere in between, right? So the hedge funds aren't pure evil, and the Redditors aren't purely on the side of good. There's a middle ground here, right? So I think what I hope comes from this is that these hedge funds don't get so complacent, basically.
Yeah.
How in what way is, so you talk about diverse portfolios and stuff, in what way is 95% of a single company being shorted at one time by all these different hedge funds a smart thing to do? You see what I mean? Because this can happen again. So hopefully in their heads, they're like, oh, okay, we'll never do that again. Because that means then we're all going to be a little bit more on the level, and we'll just be a little bit more safe. Because you don't want this. You don't want billions of dollars overnight just being lost by anyone.
Yeah, it's
not that good. Much money, exactly. And people on Reddit, by the way, these Reddit users aren't unscathed. Some people have lost a lot of money in this thing. Right. Just random average Joes. It's not all good for the Redditors. People have lost money because of it. So. Stock market, man. It's an interesting one.
Great. We should add those to the Blokes must-watch film list as well, right? Wall Street, Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps, all the other ones with cash. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, The Big Short, all these sort of things. Yeah, it's a whole category of bloke films, isn't it?
She's aching. She's up. She's off the chair though. She managed it this time. That's good. Oh, jeez. Here she comes.
Oh, at least it's in the PM this time. Last week it was in the morning.
True, yeah.
Earliest last orders ever. I thought we had a special guest on today, so I've got a
oh no!
I've got a quiz that's sporting because I thought our guest was quite sporting, but it's all right. It's a massive quiz, so we can just do a